Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to December's wrap-up video. So we're at the end of December or the beginning of January, depending on when I get to post this. I am recording 3 videos in one here, so I promise I don't wear this ugly Christmas jumper all the time, but you are going to have to get used to it for 3 videos. In today's video, we talk about all of the films, TV shows and books that I've watched/read during the month. So let's just get straight on. So there is some films to talk about. And they're vastly different. So the first film that I watched in December is The Moonies Married to the Cult. That was on Amazon Prime, and it's so hard to talk about these real life documentaries. That one hit me a lot more than I expected it to. So it is a documentary, of course, about a real life cult and the repercussions, I suppose, of that cult. And it's a hard one to discuss because it's technically still active. So that's always difficult, of course, but I didn't expect it to affect me as much as it did. I, of course, have very little, if no, experience with this kind of thing. And yet I felt deeply affected by what I was watching. And again, it's a little bit difficult to talk about documentaries without spoiling them. I would recommend The Moonies if you want to know more about the cult and what's going on and the effects and the implications. I would watch it, but I would be prepared to have your heart shattered. That's all I'm going to say. And the second and final film that I watched in December, but the fact that we've got 2 films to talk about is amazing, is Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the third Now You See Me film. I have been waiting so patiently for this film. I love the Now You See Me franchise. And it did not disappoint. I absolutely loved it. Now, again, I'm going to keep my thoughts and feelings brief because it is a relatively new film, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So there will not be any spoilers here, please don't worry. But I absolutely loved Now You See Me, Now You Don't. And I will definitely be watching it again. And hopefully, without saying too much, there will be more on the way, hopefully. So yes, I did watch it. I haven't really spoken about it a lot, but I loved it. I did. Oh, I did. I loved it so much. Then we move on to TV shows. So I finished Harry Potter Wizards of Baking this month, but then they released, which I didn't know they were going to do, I finished season 1 and then they released Wizards of Baking season 2, and I didn't know they were going to do that, like I said. So I've watched all of season 1 and all of season 2. It is a show hosted by James and Oliver Phelps, the Weasley twins, and it is exactly what it sounds like. They take a group of bakers to Leavesden, where the Harry Potter films were filmed, and it's a baking competition. And I love baking competitions anyway. I always loved baking shows, not just competitions, but shows like Cake Boss. And I love cooking shows, MasterChef. So having it all sort of combined, I really like. And I, of course, enjoy Harry Potter, so I really liked the mix of them. I did have gripes, I will say, and criticisms, but I'll leave them because, you know, I could be here all day. But as someone who I would probably consider, I know quite a lot about the Harry Potter fandom franchise, yeah, some things were not accurate. They were not book nor film accurate, and that stressed me out a little bit, I'm not going to lie. But overall, I thought that the show was very good. And then another sort of competition show for TV shows, Lego Masters UK Season 1 and Season 2. Now this one is really interesting because I actually know the parents of one of the competitors in Season 2. So that was really interesting to see someone you know on the TV. It's not the first time it's happened, but it's so fun when that happens. And I had actually talked to their parents about them participating on the show. And again, I'm quite late to watching Lego Masters UK, but I got there in the end, and it is a Lego building competition. That's all I can really say about that. And I did enjoy it. We're thinking of watching the other Lego Masters. So that's my bunny rabbit, if you can hear that. So there is a US version, an Australian version, and some others, I think. So we're thinking of watching those, but safe to say we did enjoy Lego Masters. I love Lego, so a show about it was quite nice. So then finally we move on to books that I have read during this month. I haven't got it on me to hand, but I did finish Spare, the Prince Harry autobiography, and I think I made my feelings quite clear about that last month. My feelings have not changed. I am glad that I read it. I found it quite informative, but I also found that there was some unreliable narration throughout. Let's just say that. So I don't know where I stand. Well, I don't stand anywhere in this debate, the royal family thing, Meghan and Harry versus Will and Kate. I don't really care. I know that sounds awful, but I don't really stand anywhere on that. I study royal history as a historian, so I don't really have a personal viewpoint when it comes to this. However, I'm trying to be as fair as I possibly can, and I did enjoy my time reading it. Would I read it again? No, I probably wouldn't. I'm glad that I read it, but I did find some of the narration unreliable, so that's all I will say about that. And then the final book that I've read this month, or should I say currently reading, I started Fourth Wing, and I'm literally that much of the way through. So I have a lot of Fourth Wing to get through, and of course this is only the first book. So I can't really talk to you about Fourth Wing until January. So you'll see this in January's wrap up for sure. I am enjoying it, I just haven't had a lot of time to read. Obviously the Christmas season, it's been very, very busy. So I will get back to you with my thoughts on Fourth Wing in January, but I will say I am enjoying it so far. And that's it, quite a short and sweet wrap up as per usual. I haven't really done too much in December. Obviously, shameless plug as always, if you head on over to my gaming channel, Ember Games, there is a wrap up there discussing the video games that I've bought, both physically and digitally, and the video games that I've played during the month. That wrap up, of course, will include Christmas presents as well, because I was very, very lucky this year. So please head over to that one if you'd like to figure out what I've been doing in the world of gaming. And there will be one more video either early next year or this year, I'm not sure when these videos are coming out, discussing my favourite books, films and TV shows of the year as a whole. So a wrap up to the wrap ups, I guess. So please keep your eye out for that. But I'm sure you can guess what some of my favourite films, TV shows and books of the year were. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.